Hello everyone, my name is Greg. Go by Captain Gerg on the forums. This is a Dawn of War 2 shoutcast slash commentary slash whatever you want to call it. So today we have a game between one of the best Umpire players. Of course he's the best Umpire player. His name's Umpire. No. He is one of the best Eldar players around, Umpire1, playing as the Warp Spider Exarch. And on the other side we have Texaneous. Yeah, how about Texaneous? Why not? And actually don't know too much about him. Seeing as how he's taken on Umpire, he's got to be pretty good. But he's playing as the TexaneousKNob here, something you don't see too often. So, the map being Greentooth Gorge. So, we're paused at 5 seconds. You can unpause in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unpause. 6, 7, 8, 9er, 10er, and so on and so forth. So one of the more interesting things about this particular matchup between we have Orcs and Eldar is one, you've got teleportation versus stealth. You're not seeing the Warboss, you're not seeing the Mech Boy, which you normally see against a Warp Spider. Well, and seeing as I don't really know who you're going up against or what you're going up against, it's kind of hard. But the interesting thing here is you obviously got the Stealth Commander, and then you've got Umpire on the Warp Spider. So you got the really quick teleportation versus the sneakiness. And as we're going to see, well-played Warp Spiders are really, really hard, especially when you're looking at the difference between Tier 1 and Tier 2. Orc Tier 1 is really quite simple, pretty not too hard to get things done. Depending on how your opponent plays, if he's going for a lot of squads initially, then yeah, it's gonna be kind of rough. But otherwise, Orc Tier 1 is not too hard to overcome. 2 is also very bad at scaling. So we got some, like I said, with teleportation, we got some quick capping, some pressure already on by Umpire, playing aggressively. Meanwhile, got a first squad of Banshees out. Don't know, I mean, usually, and this is kind of a preference, but normally against Orcs I'd definitely be going with either Shuriken or Devil Guardians, just to have one, greater mobility, easier map control. However, with the Warp Spider, that kind of offsets it. So, and then let's see, we went with Aspect real quick. So he's way behind in power. Umpires anyway. He's only got one power farm, or one gen on his power farm. But he's going to have quite a bit of control here to start with between the Warp Spider pressure and now his Banshees coming in. As there's no suppression, Texaneous is let's call him Tax from now on. How about that? Which would be really confusing if he was playing as Space Marines and he was playing as a Tech Marine with Tax squads and was playing as Tex. That would be awesome, but he's not. Anyway, what was I saying? Something about suppression, I think. Oh, right. Going through as far as not having the big shooters on his shooter boys. He doesn't have the easy suppression there, and the Commando sucks. I think he's the worst melee combatant of the commanders. For good reason, because he has, I think, also the highest range DPS. I think he might be tied with a maybe not the Ravner anymore. I don't know. Maybe I think he's close to the Tech Marine anyway. Who cares? But I know the Warp Spider's up there too. Anyway, very ranged army here from the Orcs. You're seeing just massive amounts of well, not massive because you only got 2 squads out, but more and more you're seeing this is kind of cool here. I don't know. Crap, I missed it. But I think we might have, maybe not. I think he had enough law on him. Tex had enough that he put on Hide the Boys and infiltrated these sluggers with burners and went in and got at least one, almost, did about half damage to everything else. So that was quite, that's going to be a common theme here, is degenerate harassment for Tex. Really good, really trying to delay the Tier 2 for the Eldar, even though Umpire is already spent quite a bit of his power between Rangers, Shuriken, and Banshees, upgrading the Rangers and the Banshees with Aspect. I don't know if he has War Gear. No, doesn't have War Gear on his Guardians yet. But yeah, as far as early map control goes, so we're seeing extra armor or extra equipment, which is pretty standard for the Commando. You're not going to be seeing too much else. Maybe, yeah, no, it's going to be hard to justify anything else. So he does his nice little attack here, comes in, melees the Shuriken so they can't set up. Fights these boys off. However, now we have the Rangers plus between, if these are, the Shuriken plus Rangers plus the Banshees here, that was a beautiful stun grenade there, who, despite, obviously, getting the grenade down, they would be useless to stick around. He's just saving their squads. Yeah, it's possible that, he could have gotten a kill. Umpire could have gotten a full kill on maybe one of these shooters, but thanks to that stun grenade, nothing there. Yes, this was one of the times, I'm sorry I missed it again, but the sluggers were infiltrated. I've seen this replay before, and torched that whole farm. So it proves to be quite effective throughout this match. Meanwhile, I don't know, with the Eldar, with the Rangers, I think that's mostly built, one, to just dissuade general commando usage in combination with the Shuriken. That was a terrible grenade. As well as just being able to cover the Banshees when they go in. A good kinetic pulse can either A, go make for a good escape, or B, just keep things back while you continually pound on them with the Shurikens. As well as just general high damage along with infiltration. Rangers are another general unit for Eldar that are hard to find a bad use for them. It is, however, easy to find a good use for them. In this case, doing tremendous damage. I don't know. I'm guessing, this is just a sheer guess here, but I'm guessing they can get a one hit on a shooter boy. I honestly don't know. But yeah, so Tex goes for a quick tier 2 here. As far as map control goes, it's been actually surprisingly pretty even up until this point. The early game, like I said, with that pressure on from Umpire, I think kind of began to sow the seeds for, if you look at the map, generally, you're just going to be seeing way more of a cap for Umpire, as he pretty much had no pressure on him out here. We have another infiltrated squad of burners here, who just go in and begin torching these Guardians. Very nice. And stuff like that, where, I mean, Umpire being the phenomenal player he is obviously he's got the metagame down to the point where he doesn't have to worry too much about looting a full squad. But against, I would definitely recommend trying that out against an opponent who's, not as good. Odds are, it does not take long for things Slugger Boys to go through Guardians in melee. So chances are, even by the time that you find that you're getting pounded on, even if you retreat, Sluggers are also good at catching up to stuff. So. Got a knob on them. Oh, he's a tier 2. Alright, so now he's trying to balance things out. Generally, obviously, the map control is going against Tex here. He's got really nothing to be able to counter all of this with when it works tier 1. I mean, maybe Storm Boys, maybe, but again, that would mean more power. That'd be delaying tier 2, as well as Storm Boys, one, are quite expensive to reinforce as well, and their jump just doesn't stun, it doesn't knock back, doesn't suppress, doesn't do anything. So as far as getting past onto the Shurikens, that's good, and getting onto the Rangers, that'd be acceptable. But I think this general going to tier 2, I don't know about the Devil War Truck. No, he's just trying to get back map control, trying to equalize things here, or force Umpire to begin to get some anti-vehicle, which they have plenty of. Eldar does, but. Yeah, I mean, just general, I think it was for more the mobility and just the fact that he needed to get some map control back very quick. Yeah, but I don't know, for Storm Boys, I've been thinking about this. Either A, you go for Storm Boys, and you're going to be quite delayed. If the Banshees get in with the boys, Storm Boys, that's gonna be some problems for them. As well as overall synergy with what Tex was trying to go for. I don't know, it just doesn't seem to quite fit in with his shooty army. I'm sure Storm Boys are easy enough to counter. In this case, he could have either popped out another suppression platform, gone with the double suppression, in which case jumps are almost useless. I saw, if you've been watching any other Shotcast, you'll see the one with Tycho and Kibbles going over the double Devastator squad. That can really go for almost any suppression squad. Well, maybe minus, I guess the Barb Stranglers wouldn't really work. But like Shurikens and even Ludus not so much, but the damage they don't do as much damage. But also, taking note of how quick dual war trucks will pound on these generators. It's actually quite impressive. We got Bellier going down and some mobile. Got some mobile cover for the Rangers here. I haven't seen this. Interesting. The Rangers, they got their hollow field and so on and so forth with that, but you haven't seen any use of. You've seen their own infiltration, but you haven't seen any use of their ability to infiltrate their allies. So like I've seen some. There's